ist unglaublich. Wir sind auf einem echten Festival.
Hi, Grandson. Welcome to Rock am Ring in Germany. How does it feel to be here?
It feels so good. Can you say that one more time?
What do you mean?
Just say welcome to Rock am Ring.
I'm going to say that. Welcome to Rock am Ring.
That's the energy.
But you've been to Rock am Park
yes.
yesterday or the day before?
2 days ago.
How was that?
It was so great. It was so much fun. The energy in Germany is so supportive of rock and roll, and maybe here more than any other country, I get the energy back that I put out.
Really?
And there's something that's very motivating about that as a performer. If I am jumping, the crowd is jumping. If I'm screaming, the crowd is screaming, and that is an incredible test as a performer. It really pushes you to go bigger and be better. So I love being here. I've waited a long time. That's why I made you say it a couple times. For those of you that don't know, I make music in Los Angeles, California, and the drummer of my live band is from Dusseldorf.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And so from the very first rehearsal day, when I was just starting with Grandson, didn't have a single song out, my drummer told me, we are going to get to Germany and it will be incredible. And he hasn't been wrong yet.
Do you prefer playing festival shows or your own concert of the tour? What is better? What do you think?
It depends. I love playing headline shows just because I really do feel that the audience at a Grandson show is so supportive, so happy to be there. That some of my best memories as a performer are at Grandson shows, but festivals have that larger than life atmosphere. There's something so epic about it.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing like that. So I also love seeing all these other bands I'm a big fan of, walking backstage and eating too much at catering. Taking advantage of being on a festival is also really cool. So both have their good things.
Yeah. So let's talk about your music. You recently released a song. It's called "Good Mood" with Dwayne. How did that? How did the collaboration come about?
Dwayne has been an incredible artist that I've known for years and years. He is really pushing the boundaries with his sound, with his style, with his swagger. So I've always been a big fan and admirer of his work, even when we were both growing up together, living in Hollywood. And he invited me over to listen to his album and give some ideas and help him with his album. And while I was there, our mutual collaborator, a producer who goes by the name No Love for the Middle Child, also an incredible artist, started this new idea, and we kind of impulsively jumped on it together and made a whole song out of it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I've heard you'd like to do another collaboration with Spiritbox because you like that band.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Hell yeah.
So
Everybody's listening. Spiritbox. Sure. I'm Canadian, you're Canadian. Let's talk. Let's make it happen. What are we waiting for? I'm ready.
So they have been here, I think, yesterday or the day before, but you missed them. Yeah. Awesome, of course.
Yeah, she's so great as a front woman, and
yeah, and she's one of there are not many front women or women in general here on stage. What do you think about diversity on festival stages or in general in that genre of rock?
I feel as though our genre will only be relevant to young people if young people can see their attitudes and identities reflected back at them on stage.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a young person of color, if you are a young member of the LGBTQ plus community, if you are a woman in rock and roll, it is hard to support a festival that doesn't support your people. And so I think we have a responsibility to make these lineups inclusive for all kinds of artists. And there has never been a better time to promote women in rock and roll. There are so many great bands, from, like you said, Spiritbox to Nova Twins to Yannicka to Royal and the Serpent, K-Flay. So many great women in rock and roll right now that could have my spot and would be going even better than us. So we got to do better.
But do you think it's changing already? Do you think there is the genre of rock or pop punk or all this is changing right now?
I think in some ways it is, and I think a big part of that, particularly in America, is because it is more diverse. Because you have artists like Kenny Hoopla and Dwayne and Willow challenging that everyone has to be a white man to succeed in rock and roll. I think that by including more types of people who are young and savvy with social media, who are on TikTok, who are on Instagram, knowing how to reach their audience, you are making rock and roll more relevant. Because kids our age don't want to go watch the Rolling Stones over and over again. Since the beginning of time, it has never been that cool to listen to the same music as your parents. No generation ever has enjoyed listening to their parents' music. So we have to change if we expect young people to stay here in this genre. And part of that is making it sound different, look different. And a lot of the sex, drugs, and rock and roll, a lot of that needs to be left in the old era. You know, a lot of the predatory nature, the sexualizing of young women and young people, that too is an uncomfortable truth that we have to break down in rock and roll.
Yeah.
We have to have a one-strike policy with that kind of stuff, and I don't think that we can expect the genre to be a place for young people if we don't, from the artist side and from the promotion side of booking these festivals, make an effort to make it more representative of the average, person.
Yeah. Well, you released a few songs last week. It has all been collaborations. Is there another collaboration coming up soon, maybe? Is there anything you can tell us?
I have a couple more collaborations in the bank. I put out my own song since I put out my album during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Since then, I have been able to do some really cool stuff, including working with some of the biggest people in electronic music, like Steve Aoki, working with young, talented, up-and-coming alternative artists like Oliver Tree and Kenny Hoopla, also working with older, more established artists like Tom Morello. So I've been busy working on all kinds of stuff. I did the theme song for a movie called Suicide Squad last year. And I think that I gotta get through this tour and get through these collaborations, and then it's time for me to go work on my own album. Finally. So
So you answered my next question already.
As much as I love working on other people's music, I'm almost ready to just start putting out my own shit.
All right. That's nice to hear.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to that.
Yes.
Thank you for coming here and talking to us. I hope you will have a great time. I think you will.